We talking about cats and black people today. Actually, we are doing the Black is King episode today. Black is King, Beyonce's film, directed by Beyonce, created by Beyonce, written by Beyonce, handcrafted by Beyonce. Beyonce built the camera. Yeah, she flew the plane to where they were filming. She did everything. And so we're going to be talking about it today. And when I say we, I mean me and Mo. My friend Mo. I've known Mo for a long time. I want to say like 4 years. We'll get into it when she comes on. So I'm going to call her. So let's just jump right in. Well, first of all, how are you?
I am like, so, what I think is funny is that, like, you haven't asked for my number. We've known each other for literally, like, 5+ years. It was making me think about how everyone was like, oh, we're gonna have to talk to our friends, like, not in person. I'm like, wait, we've been doing this.
No, literally, because I remember I saw a tweet like not even 4 days ago, and it was like, yo, you know those mutuals you've had for like almost 10 years and you don't even have their phone number?
Right? Like,
No, really, we are like that internet friendship that just will not die. Doesn't matter what happens. Like, I love that. No, but I've literally known you for like, what, since 2015? 14?
like, okay, I was trying to remember. I'm like, ugh, cries tears, because Fifth Harmony was live.
I know. Oh my
It had
god.
to be.
When were they alive again? Hold on.
I can't remember.
No, and it wasn't even like when they were about to die. Like we were friends like
They were alive.
like we were friends well into their prime. And then we lived through their death. We lived through pretty much his death. And now literally IP. Now we're just kind of cruising through whatever Normani's doing. But we'll always have Beyonce. So hello.
Yeah, exactly that.
Exactly that. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about Black is King. Yes, snaps, snaps. Okay. I'm just going to go right into it and ask you. Like, I'm going to go ahead and guess you watched Lion King as a kid, right? Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, well, after you said you never watched it, I was like, wait, why did I watch it then? But it was probably only because my older sister. Because, like, I Googled it, and that movie came out, like, before I was born. So,
That's what I'm saying. Like, when I tell people that, well, just for, like, to update everyone, I did watch it today because I didn't want to be uneducated. But when I tell people, like, I hadn't have watched it before, they're like, what? But that movie came out in, like, the 90s, like, early 90s.
yeah, like, basically the 80s, because it
Literally.
was 91.
Right, it was 91. Like, none of us were born. And even when we were born, I don't know, like, maybe I'm just underestimating Disney's power because I just don't know if that movie's, like, big enough for it to be like, well, obviously it is because they got a remake and everything. But when I was little, it wasn't, like, a movie that, like, if it had already came out, I wasn't like, oh, I need to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess of course, they had the live action, the Broadway.
Oh my god, I forgot about the Broadway!
No, and it's been going for years. I'm pretty sure it's still going. Well, maybe not because, like, nobody's watching Broadway.
Right.
100%, but
No, yeah. I do remember when that Broadway came out, everybody was like, ah, this is the best thing ever. And I was like, wait, should that happen? But I never did. The only thing that could make me tap in was literally Beyonce. So, hello. We tapped in.
yeah, and even that, like, I'm gonna be honest, I was like, I can't remember if I listened to this album before this movie because, of course, like, Homecoming and Coachella Live, I was like, okay, yes, Beyonce. But before that, it was the album with Jay-Z, and then, like, she comes up with the album based off The Lion King. I was just like, girl.
No. Because she was really testing our fandom. She was like, I mean, are y'all with me for, like life?
Trust issues. She
No.
wasted title free trial because of that.
No,
Not like so.
literally. No, and I was mad because like obviously I played it the night that it released like with everyone, but I didn't really like I got so mad that I didn't really tap back into it like several months later. Like I don't know what kind of PTSD she put me through, but I was not I don't know what it was. You know what I think it was? Like in terms of Homecoming and her solo music, it has like such a specific style, and like this just wasn't really that. So
Yeah.
maybe that like put us off at first. But I'm glad like it wasn't just me that like totally forgot this album came out.
Yeah, because I looked and the only song that I had saved before this movie came out was Don't Jealous Me.
Oh, and that she's not even on that one.
Wait.
Yes, exactly. No, because I had Don't Jealous Me and I had Mood Forever just because I was like, well, I gotta have one with her on it at least, just to front. Not even for my own enjoyment, just to front. But yeah.
Exactly. I was like watching this. I'm like, oh wait, I've heard this song before. Like, wow.
we're watching the movie, we're like, oh wait, this sounds so familiar. Like, where is this from? No, literally. Okay, but I will say my opinion on the album like completely changed after watching Black is King. Like now I'm like playing it every day and I'm like, dang, this is good. What she put in this? You know? I don't know if that happened to you.
Yeah, same. Like, I definitely have more than one song saved now, and like, just I feel like I can listen to them alone just without the movie.
Exactly. It's not like, oh, okay, let me force myself to listen to this or this and that. And you know what else too? Well, first of all, okay, let's restart because she put out a deluxe version of the album with the movie, right? But if I'm not mistaken, the deluxe album took away the skits because that was something that was getting me mad about the. Yeah, there's no skits on the deluxe. Cause
Yeah,
the skits were getting me pissed off on the real version. I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, so we're gonna have to listen to script like screenplay readings in between the
absolutely
songs.
not.
Like what? It was like already or something, and then it was like Childish Gambino as Simba talking for 2 minutes, and I was like, no, that's not gonna work for me. So
Yeah,
I'm.
that was very Broadway of her. Maybe she's like big money.
That's true. You know what I think it was? Okay. Let's talk about Disney because you said you watched it as a kid. Okay. So, let's talk about the actual Lion King movie. They got Beyonce to be on it. They had like a lot of famous people on it, I feel like. They had Childish Gambino, Beyonce, um
That's all I know.
me. They had so many famous people. So who were the other ones? Anyway, but like not famous to us, but like famous to people that watch movies, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, they had them on it. I feel like they spent like a good enough amount of money even just to get Beyonce to be on the movie, much less like make a whole soundtrack for it. But I'm just trying to figure out like I don't know. You said you watched the movie. Like, were you a fan? Like, where did you want this live action? Is that something that I maybe missed too, or what?
No, because well, I did not. I didn't care honestly because I feel like with movies, I just don't care about them. Like I don't have the attention span to watch movies, and especially with the live action one, I'm just like, how can you make it any different or better than the original? Except at Beyonce, and they did that. So I did go see the live action one with like my family, but I mean, I wouldn't have paid to go see it myself. I didn't pay for it.
Oh, okay. So like you weren't like, oh yes, it was more just for Beyonce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like popcorn.
And literally, it's like it's so funny because I really do think I be saying like I'm that movie girl. I be watching movies, but if it doesn't even get my attention a little bit, I will not see it. And I'm sorry to the Beehive, but I did not watch it. I did not.
Honestly, like
Mm-mm.
it's just weird. It was just animals, but and that's it.
That's what.
That's all Lion King is. Just animals. So
That's what I was thinking. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a live action person. If you're friends with me in real life, you know because I harass people with this rant like every time a live action comes out. And it's just like I don't see what live actions provide. Like if it's like an
Except for like easy money for Disney, nothing else.
right, it's literally just the same thing but with animals. Like well, I don't think like I'm not gonna enjoy that. And that's not even just the animals because like let's say what did they put out the like a couple years ago? Oh, Beauty and the Beast. That's the same thing but with people. I feel I don't know. Did
I
you watch
didn't know
that?
that happened.
What?
I didn't know that happened. The only one I can think of is Aladdin, and the same reason that I watched Lion King live action. I didn't watch Aladdin, but I listened to the song that Zayn did.
Oh
So the only reason
yeah.
I paid attention to both is because like people I cared about were included.
Exactly. And I think Disney knows that. Disney like will be like, "Well, let's find somebody who can sing and has a fan base and
Right.
let's have them involved in some way." And it's like good for them for knowing how to use me, but it's like you also need to like I feel like if I'm going to go through the work to get Beyonce on a movie and like trick people into watching the movie, I'm going to want to like provide something so where they're like, "Oh, I wasn't going to watch this, but you know, now that I did, it's actually good and I'm going to tell other people to watch it or something, you know?" I don't know.
Yeah, make it good. They didn't do anything. They did their one step, got Beyonce. They said, "Okay, we're done."
Literally, it literally did nothing. And from like my cousins had watched it and they told me that Beyonce didn't really have that many lines anyway. So
Yeah.
they really tricked the girls with that one. So that's what I'm gonna say about live actions. Now, if we're gonna talk about what she did with Black is King, yes, because from what like okay, like to talk about live actions, good live actions, the Cinderella, the one with Hilary Duff. Hello, it's like Cinderella but modernized.
Okay, I
So
feel like that's such a good one because honestly, I don't think of Cinderella as a cartoon at all. I only think of it as that movie and then the one with Brandy. So that's like
yes, I was talking about
top
the one with
tier.
Brandy too with my cousins. Like you have to
Like
provide something different.
right, and they did the right. They got a black girl. They went all the way in
All the way in because
with braids. Hold on.
no, because I really put braids on Cinderella, and they were like, "Okay, y'all want like y'all want diversity." I don't know why they were so good with diversity with that movie. I also don't even know if that movie was Disney, but anyway, it was like the
Right,
guy was Asian, Brandy, and then there was a white person in it too, and it's like everyone's involved. Like,
right.
and it's just a good time. And that's what I enjoy. Because I don't know. I was talking about this with my other friend with Tip. About like that's what has me worried about Little Mermaid with Chloe. Not Chloe, with Hallie.
Yeah,
Like I'm scared that they're just gonna be like, okay, well, it's the same exact movie with Hallie in it. Like I want them to do what they did with Brandy and Cinderella and make it like that much cuter. Same story, but like modernized, you know?
yeah, and they definitely need to like do some work because I've seen maybe like 3 minutes of The Little Mermaid, and then I was like, oh, this is boring. So
Turn it
I
off.
don't know what's happening there.
No, because that's the thing. Like I really feel like with live actions, people really like they confuse that nostalgia where it's like, okay, I just want to see this, but like with technology of now, and it's like, yeah, but you want to see that for what? Because you like that when you were like 8 or 10 or
Right.
like you know. So what makes you think that you as an adult is gonna want to see that now? And maybe that's on us. Maybe this movie is really for children.
It's like when everyone was complaining about the Kim Possible remake, and they're like, y'all are 32.
Yeah. Literally, that's that part. So maybe I am really just looking too deep into it, and I am just like, girl, you're 21, turn it off. Like, maybe that's what it is, and I will check myself for that. But at the same time, who's gonna drive the kids to see the movie? It's me, you know?
Exactly.
So I feel
Well, not me.
like
But somebody is.
somebody is. I feel like they need to remember that and try to cater to me a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it's still their fault. But anyway, about Black is King, I like that Beyonce kind of modernized it. So let's get into it. Let's get into. Can you hear me? Okay, let's get into, I mean, what Lion King is, I guess. I mean, I'm sure I was the last person that hadn't watched Lion King, but just to describe it, um, when I was watching the animated version though, I thought like, okay, rewind. When I was watching Black is King, she kept doing a lot of like narration parts and a lot of
Yeah.
like talking about, I guess like I don't want to broad generalize it, but like African spiritism sort of thing and like their cultures and stuff. So I was like, wow, this movie is like Beyonce's movie is like heavy on that, and I liked it because it was kind of like bringing it more realistic. But then when I was watching Lion King, I'm like, oh wait, these are like the same exact thing she was saying. Like not the same exact thing, but it took some points from that. So I'm like, oh, so they were just pushing the spiritism in the animated too. So it's not like she made it up. Because I don't know if you saw, a lot of people were like mad at her for saying like black is king, and they were saying like, oh, this is like such a push of this sort of religion on people, and I'm like, but wait, is it not Lion King the same thing?
Yeah. Okay. So like, honestly, the narration when I first watched it, it was 3 a.m. So I didn't know what she was saying. I watched it again. I still didn't know what she was saying.
I didn't know what you were
what
saying.
what I remember from Lion King is like very skeleton of the plot. So I know that like Simba was born, his dad died, he ran away, and then he came back.
And that's really what it is. That's
So
really what it is.
details, I'm like, I don't remember anything anyone said. And so like relating it to Black is King, I know like that storyline, but like with spirituality and all of the other things and just like the kingdom, like Simba being like the most important character, and so of course like Black is King is like focused on just like I don't know, I guess
The one
black
kid, yeah.
people. Yeah, like I could very clearly see that it was like mirrored after the Lion King, so I didn't take anything away from it. Where I was just like, oh, Beyonce is doing too much, and like I don't know, I just didn't have a lot of like criticisms for it.
Me neither. I don't know. I feel like people, Beyonce has this like thing that's always following her where it's like she always, it's like a specific group of people that are always like saying that she is trying to push some sort of narrative, whether it be like black being superior race or her fans being like a cult or whatever. And it's just so out of pocket to me because I'm like, okay, it doesn't make sense because if you watch Lion King, it kind of is the same thing. Like from what I remember in Black is King, from the like four lines I understood that she said, one of them was like when you die, like you don't actually die, like everything, like the world is all connected, circle of life stuff, and like literally circle of life is not even a crazy like theme in life.
Yeah.
And then when you're watching Lion King, they have a whole entire song dedicated to the circle of life. So I'm like, so what are we criticizing Beyonce for? It's literally in the cartoon. So I'm very confused as to why she's getting criticisms off that. I think what she did do was elevate it in ways Disney could not. Hello?
Exactly that.
Hello? Because even when I was younger, I think it was really obvious to see that Lion King, like, it's just black. Like, it's just black people. They're lions, but they're black people.
No, because okay, I
Hello.
thought that Simba's dad was voiced by like Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, but it's not. But it is a black man
It is
in
a
the
black man.
original movie. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, dang, how many black people were included in this? But I think that the problem, like, why Beyonce is getting some of these criticisms, I think the problem is Jay Z. Like, she's too close with him. So, like, everything that people say about him, people are, like, putting it on her, too. So,
Wait, because why is that actually a point? We're not even just hating on Jay Z, because Jay Z also has this whole Illuminati thing following him since he was born. So obviously, when he married Beyonce, they're gonna think she's doing the same thing. Why is that a point? Wait.
divorced.
Divorce him and all will be clear. No, really, because I feel like if it was literally anyone else, everybody would have been like, oh, it's just like a retelling in a more like, I would say more explicit way, more like obvious way, because again, Lion King is literally animated cats and safari animals versus the story and like I don't, I guess folklore behind it is very African. Doesn't matter what country in Africa from, like they took a lot of different parts of it. The voices not all being black, that's just Disney being Disney. We know they
Right.
do this. They do this. They've done it with Mulan and all of that. But like, the culture behind it isn't taken away just because like a white person was Simba.
Was Simba really white?
Yes, that really shook me.
Oh, jeez.
It really shook me. And okay, so like baby Nala was a black girl. And then when she's a like adult, it's a white woman. And I'm like, it's very different. Didn't say right with me. But like again, it's not hard to see like okay, African animals, circle of life type stuff. Even in like the drawings they were doing on like Simba's face as a baby or like whatever, it's still very cultural. So for Beyonce to just like make it louder and more like, yes, this is from Africa, this is from this and that. And for people to be like, whoa, you're doing too much. Like, it's
Right.
so weird to me. I
I
don't know.
think like I don't know,
Yeah.
like what like did she need to include like some non-black African nations? Like was that
Right. Like, what were y'all looking for?
but I also feel like she's been like since 2016 I want to say, but even before that, like because she had her little pop phase, but even in that she was still like a black woman because like she just is a black woman.
Literally.
And so, like, I don't know, maybe she was like, no, y'all are getting too comfortable with me and trying to make me seem that I'm not like other black people. So, like, she dropped formation, and then after that, she's just like, y'all, I'm black.
Right, like I'm just literally black. But it's like I don't even get that. I mean, I get that, but I don't get people hating on her for this specifically. I don't get people hating on her for anything. But for this specifically, I don't understand because it's like, okay, let's say Disney was on crack and they're like, okay, let's get who else is black and famous? Let's get. I don't know if Rihanna would do this, but let's say Rihanna can do this, right? Would Rihanna not get African people to do Lion King? Would that just not be like? Is that just not something that anybody would do for the movie? Because the movie's like heavily influenced. You know what I mean? It's not like
Yeah,
she.
I feel
It's not like she
like
picked
there's
up this
just,
story and was like, "I'm just gonna make it black." You know?
yeah.
Go ahead though.
Especially since, like, it is Lion King. So, I feel like, like, the clearest path is just, like, black people and then focus on, like, African nations and different tribes.
Right. You know,
Like, that was the most, like, probably, I don't know, like, the simplest way to reinterpret it.
like that is a very bare minimum she's doing. You know, like.
Right. This is, like, the one time where we're like, hold up, Beyonce, no creativity?
No, but I'm not even saying that because this is for like what Beyonce did. That's what I expected from Disney, if that makes sense. Like when Disney's like, "Oh, we're gonna make a live action," I'm thinking, "Oh, they're gonna make a whole Black people story about it, and like this king of this tribe and this and that, and then he gets, I don't know, the dad gets killed and this and that. I don't know, something like that."
They said
But
no. CGI.
yeah, they said no. We are gonna bring cats. So I guess they thought that Beyonce was gonna do the same thing and just be like Beyonce in a room with a bunch of lions. Like, is that what y'all thought? That would have been so dumb. Like, I'm so
Right.
glad she didn't do that. But anyway, that's just people hating, for reasons that they need to deal with in their inner self. To be honest. But okay, as a movie though, because, okay, when I did hear that this movie, Formation, I think, is like an hour long, and this movie is an hour and a half long. So I thought they were going to have like some scripts in between it or whatever. Like, I thought it was going to be like a real movie. It wasn't, but that's not my complaint because I don't
Right.
have any. But,
When I first watched it, it did seem longer than an hour.
right.
After that. And I was just like, why are there so many breaks between the songs? But then I watched it again, I'm just like, there are no breaks.
The second time you watch it, you're like, oh yeah, so this is just one. Okay, good. Thank you.
Right.
But the first time, it is a little like, I guess because you don't really know what you're expecting. So you're kind of like, oh, da da da. Also, the songs aren't necessarily in the order that they are on the album. So that kind of threw me off at first. But I think she did that with Lemonade too, so I should have kind of expected that. But yeah, she has like this kind of style. I mentioned before that the movie's written, directed, crafted, filmed by Beyonce all herself. And she has this style where it's like narration, like dramatic narration, like motherly narration.
Yeah.
And then song, narration song. But I will say this narration felt a little more like harder to understand than Formation's narration. I don't know. You said you didn't really understand this narration either.
Yeah, like, I don't know, they were like, okay, so I watched with subtitles, of course.
hmm
And so, like, seeing the commas, and I'm like trying to read it grammatically, and I'm just like, I actually don't know what this sentence says.
No, literally, because it would be the simplest sentence. She'd be like, "The moon is bright," and I'm like, "Wait, roll that
The
back."
ancestors live for you. Why? I'm like, what?
And it was like pause, and then it was like a picture of a tree, and I was like, "Wait, but what are we talking about here?" But I get her what she was doing. She was like setting the mood and all that. So it was like setting the mood song. First time it was like so much to take in versus Formation, because I feel like with Formation we were able to take it all in because we knew like, oh yeah, she's putting out a movie. She had put more like, I feel like more teasers for Formation, or am I lying?
Probably because I remember, like, being so excited for that, and I knew to watch it. And then, honestly, Black is King, I was like, okay, I saw, like, these things on Instagram, but I didn't know when it was coming.
Right. I feel
I
like
was just like, what is everybody else saying?
right. I feel like they were way more secretive about this, which is so like what? Like Disney versus HBO. But I feel like they were like trying to keep a lot of secrets with this one. So it's like we didn't really know what to expect, and then it was all kind of thrown at us in a good way,
Right.
but still a lot to take in. So I didn't know like what song's coming next, what visuals coming next, and again I didn't watch Lion King, so I'm really just taking it all in with a grain of salt. But I was able to put the pieces together, you know, the little boy, his dad got killed, and then he had to leave, and then he came back. So let's talk about yeah. So let's talk about like for you, what songs like stood out visually from the first or second view?
Okay, so favorite is My Power. I just feel like
That's just a girl.
everything about that is very, like, Beyonce, but also Lion King, and also, like, showing, like, really good, like, well, including all the people that were featured. It was just like, this is, like, the best song, the best visual, and
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, you can't get better than that compared to all the other ones. I was just like, hold on.
No, yeah. I think so too. I think that song was very like obvious, like obviously African, obviously Beyonce because it was like choreography, but it wasn't too much scenery. So like you could still see Beyonce clearly. You could see
Yeah.
all the other like featured artists clearly, which is another thing. I didn't know the featured artists were gonna be in the movie, so that was kind of like what. So yeah, kind of seeing everybody's face because these aren't necessarily artists that are famous in America, more
Yeah.
so like in different countries in Africa. So like seeing putting a face to the voice was so like, oh my god, they look good, huh? And
And so I know, like, Tierra Whack is American, but I've never seen her face before, and I've never heard her voice. So it wasn't until I was listening to the album, I was like, oh, wait. This is Tierra.
we're like, oh wait, she's from here. Hi, girl. Hi. Oh my god, that's another American person that was in it that kind of threw me off was Jessie Reyes. I was like, hello,
I
okay.
was like, is she African? I was on Google, and I was like, hold on, is this body count?
No, me too. I was googling her like entire family history. I was like, who are you? But you know
All
what?
of her business.
Literally, I was
No,
all up in her
honestly, I
business.
was like, is JC Reyes black?
Me too. And when like Google wouldn't tell me, I went on Twitter and I looked up is Jesse Reyes black, but then everything that was coming up was Jesse Reyes
Black
black
is
is king. Oh my god.
We're like about to Like, what
No,
the
literally. Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one. But then also, when I was watching Lion King today, Scar's voice actor, because she does the song for Scar, right? So Scar's voice actor is British. Like,
No, that reminds me though, because like, what song is it where Beyonce says Mandem, and I was like, wait, that just makes me think of they're like, stop killing the Mandem, Black Lives Matter.
literally very English. So I'm like, so maybe Beyonce is like, so we're not gonna put British people in this movie because we don't want to harm y'all, but we are gonna put Jessie Reyes, who isn't black. You know, maybe it was like kind of to like bring that contrast, I guess.
I
That's
do
the
sort of think that I like that song though. Well, not all of it, but Jesse's part.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like the other person's part, but I do like her part.
Yeah,
It's like evil.
right.
It slapped more than the song that Scar sings in Lion King. It's all fresh in my mind, so I'm really comparing it. But
Yeah, that song is the worst one.
the worst. And he come in there very confident, and he's definitely fighting the entire song. Like he's fighting the beat. I did not like it.
Right.
I did not like it. But who else? Oh yeah, also Pharrell was in it. I don't know why his presence angered me.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I wish like Pharrell is my favorite non-singing singer. Like, he cannot sing, but he makes it sound good. Like,
No, yeah, I will say that. He does sound good, but I don't know. I guess because in the order, I don't even know what order they put it in, like to reference, but the order that it was in, I remember a really good song playing before Water, and I do like Water, but his presence was just so jarring, like in contrast to the song before. So I was like, whoa, you kind of came out of nowhere, and you're kind of pissing me off.
maybe Water is after Nile, but probably not.
You know what? I think it's something like that. It's like a really calm song, and then it's like Water, which isn't bad because I do like Water, but I don't know. It was something about him standing on all those like canteens and stuff. I was like, what is this, Hanny? But it is good. I do like that song, but that's not my favorite visual. But yeah, My Power is good. I also liked Already. Thoughts on Already?
Yes, I feel like they knew what they were doing when they made that the single because it's so sickening.
So sickening from the beginning to the end. Also,
Like, why would you eat like that in that video? I
no,
feel like a
really.
Ready choreo is like because she mentioned it herself in Homecoming movie where she's like a lot of her choreography is not really like technical, but it's just like you gotta be Beyonce to make it look good. But I feel like
Oh.
already had like a different kind of choreography, like where it's like she was showing that she actually can dance because she was able to make it look good, even though it was something we never seen her do before. So I was like, girl,
Yeah, I will say because it wasn't like traditional hip hop R&B, not R&B, but like hip hop dancing or like what we're used to seeing her do on tour. This was more
yeah,
like full body, like even her neck was doing stuff. I was like, "What?"
right?
Yeah. And they were also really good at like controlling her hair. That was something that really stood out to me because she had like 50 different hairstyles, right? But I think for Already specifically, she had like really long braids.
Mm-hmm.
And dancing with braids is crazy because they just be flying around. But for some reason, like I could see her full face the entire time, and I was like, "Wow, go off, queen."
Right.
So that really
Already
did.
still had like the sort of ombre hair that was like 50 inches.
I know. Like, it was literally from like her head to her knees. I was like, "How is
Like,
she not tripping?" Hello. That was wild. And okay, another thing about Already is I think something that I noticed with all the songs, it's like a lot of the songs that were with nature in the background were good and stood out to me. But for some reason, the ones that were like in a studio or like something like that stood out to me even more, which is weird because you would think like Lion King, nature, those would stand out more to me. But like Already, My Power, those were both like in a little studio, little warehouse. Like,
yeah, and I don't jealous me too.
oh yeah, Don't Jealous Me too. So and even like Don't Jealous Me and Already specifically, like those were warehouse. Like they were on boxes.
Right.
Like,
Like they ain't paid no money to be in there.
they didn't pay no money. Like it was like really cute outfits and then like on a crate dancing. And I was like, okay. But I was gonna say about Already is that um Already's like a direct rework of Can't Wait to Be King, while My Power is kind of like just Beyonce's interpretation, which is kind of sickening to me because I do like Can't Wait to Be King, but I'm not gonna play that because I'm 21 years old. But
Right.
Already that I can dance to and have like the same, nostalgia, I guess. Well, not for me, but I can
For
relate
the
it.
other people.
Yeah, for the other people. Like it's you can make that direct relation while still bopping to like a full grown song, you know?
Yeah. I feel like that and well, that's the only song where I was like, okay, I know what song this is mirrored after. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe Bigger is Circle of Life, maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, Bigger, I thought Bigger and the other side were like Circle of Lifey because they were like kind of talking about dying but not really. So like I got that. And they were in the beginning of the movie. I'm really telling you this movie really helped me understand because I don't know where the disconnect was, but like after I watched it I was able to be like, "Oh, that's this and that's that."
Right.
So something about putting like the story visually with it. So yeah, Bigger and Other Side being in the beginning like when she's holding the baby, it made me be like, "Oh, that's Circle of Life." And
Oh,
okay,
that was so motherly. I'm like,
so
I know
much.
she's a mom, but see, that was like, hold on, she's a mom.
Like, every time, every scene of her holding a baby, I was like, "Oh my god, she she is nursing a child." Like it was crazy when she was putting like the powder on the baby's feet. I was like,
Right. Okay, I'm like, I don't know what she was in this movie though. Like
"Okay,
a godmother.
I think I know, but get ready because it's a little bit all over the place." So, you know the baboon from the movie. I think his name is Rafiki.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think she's like, because the whole movie's like a mature version of Lion King. Well, I think she specifically, and also that blue guy that was kind of following her for a lot of the movie.
Yeah.
I think like them connected or some mature version of Rafiki. Because in the movie, Rafiki's like the most spiritual one. He's the one talking about like, I talk to your dad still. And it's like, the dad been dead. So it's like, what? So like I think like but in the movie they make him in the cartoon movie they kind of make him to be a little baboon. He's like a little bit crazy. But having Beyonce be that and like the person behind it is kind of making it more realistic where it's like yeah, people actually believe this and like this is actual practice, you know? So I think that
Um,
was really nice. Sorry?
I was obsessed with the blue man.
I was obsessed with it too. He was always there and I was like, "Hi, how you doing?" It was like random scenes, like specifically after like when the kid ran away and he was like sad, and then all you randomly sees the blue guy like hello, and I'm like okay, cute. So yeah, I like that though because I like that they, even if I really don't believe in any of that, like I have my own beliefs, but I
Right.
think that Lion King sometimes kind of made fun of that stuff sometimes with the way that like they didn't take it as seriously and Beyonce made it more like yeah, like this is a real thing, you know? So I think that
Right.
was cute. What other visuals did I like? I really liked Nile. And I will say I didn't like Nile before the movie. I don't know if that happened to you too.
I don't remember the now visual.
It was
Like, I
like
remember her standing there.
yeah. It was like the dad dies from like the stampede of motorcycles and then like immediately after it's like they're carrying a coffin with like everything is white.
Oh, it
Yeah.
reminds me of SpongeBob.
Yeah, it did actually. When it like everything white reset like
Right.
yeah. It was like kind of scary because I wasn't expecting it. Because up until then there was no warehouse videos except for I guess Don't Jealous Me. But it was still like, more nature and then that was the first one that was like complete set change. I was like, "Whoa." But I liked Nile. It was a little more serious. And I could like now Nile's about death. It's not just Kendrick Lamar talking. So
Okay, because I really did not know what it was about. And I was like, why is she so in love with Kendrick Lamar? I mean, like, they only have, what, two songs? But I was like, all right, that's
no,
enough.
No, but I that's enough. I actually like Kendrick Lamar, but I did notice she a little obsessed with him because why he never invite her to do anything? It's always her inviting him. What?
Girl, Beyonce, I'm gonna have to have a talk with her. Like, don't do that no more.
Like, stop. And also, like, I don't know if she invited him to be in the movie, but why he ain't show up? I don't like
Right,
that.
where's he at?
I
Kendrick
don't
Lamar
like
is
that.
not doing anything right now.
Literally so unemployed. Can you get like can you come? We're filming something for the culture. Like, can you come? He always talking about how he's ready for everybody and you're not. You're not.
It's very fake.
Very fake. So I need him to figure that out. But me, I like this song. By the way, Kendrick Lamar, I'ma sue you. Like, you need to get it together. No, but I did like I mean, this is a feeling overall, but that visual really helped me like understand what the song is about. You know. Okay,
I
also
didn't understand what it was about until you said it.
I
But
also watched it 3 times, so we're gonna have to. I'm acting like I know everything that happened, but I watched it 3 times and I watched like 2 YouTube explanations. So she be trying to connect the dots.
she went to college.
She went to college. She did. She did. Another one. Okay, did you cry at all in the movie?
No.
Okay. Well,
I feel like maybe I was supposed to during the other side, but I was so confused about like what the point of that song was, and just like what was happening with the baby on the river that I just like I couldn't get there because I was just like, what's happening?
oh, the other side was when she literally just put a baby in a basket. Was it that one?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that
that
visual had
poor
me mad
baby.
confused. That poor baby, she just drowned him. She literally put the baby in a basket and was like, "Peace out."
Right.
But that visual specifically confused me because um I couldn't relate it to Lion King because I don't know if they had like a baby part in Lion King.
Yeah.
So that was like her interpretation. Um but when the baby fell off the waterfall, it didn't even die.
Right. He was still
So
alive.
that was really confusing to me. So no, that the other side, the song is pretty and probably would have made me cry had I listened to it like in a good mood the first time. But the song that made me cry for some reason was Bigger. I don't know why. I think she was
That
just
was
like,
like first 5 minutes of the movie.
I know. I think it was just she was looking so pretty and holding a baby, and she was like, "You're worth something," and I was like, "Oh." Some
About
of
Bigger,
that.
I do think that like once all of this is over and people can go outside again, like the amount of beach weddings and the wedding dresses that are
Yes.
gonna look like that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's purely off her impact because that dress is like it's beautiful, but it's definitely a little bit like ripped and torn.
Right.
But that's gonna be like the new thing, a little bit raggedy, little raggedy beach wedding, and with that song in the background. And you know how everybody love to do like an all white wedding? That's what it's gonna be.
Right.
But that song made me cry, and Brown Skin Girl made me cry for no reason.
Okay, I
Literally.
think that brown skin girl is like borderline terrorism. I don't know if it's already happened, but you know how like people like queen, king. I'm just like, don't call me a queen. But I think that like if it's not already happened, dudes are gonna be walking down the street, and I say dudes because they're the only people who do this,
Mhm.
and they're gonna be like, brown skin girl,
Oh
you're
my
so pretty,
god.
girl. Like, don't say that to my face.
Wait, I never thought about it like that because that is something that literally would happen. It's like they kind of already took the song and made it as a meme. But when I say they, I mean black women. Because remember, like, when the Gina Rodriguez stuff happened? And they, like, remixed it. Where it was like, Gina says she's Afro Latina. So they put, like, wigs on her. And it was like, it was like a slideshow with Brian Skinger in the background. So that's funny when like we can reclaim it, but like other people, yeah, they probably would be like the like take it too far where it's like almost too much praise,
Right.
where it's like, ooh, now it's weird. Now it's
Right. My
like,
chocolate princess, my brown skin girl.
yeah, like
Mocha honey.
mocha. Skin just like pearls. And we're like, oh, well, it was fun while it lasted. I think I wasn't in that headspace. I was in the full headspace where it's like, oh my God, Lupita's in the video. And I started crying. Like, it was like that
I'm
kind of
not
thing.
gonna lie, I was literally like, my heart rate got faster.
I know, me
And I
too.
was like, Normani, where?
We were like, we know she did not mention Normani in the song. And we're like, oh my God, Normani's coming. But you know what? She's so rude. She probably would have showed up and not told nobody. So we're not, that PTSD is valid.
We're not wrong for that.
Right, exactly. No, but I really love that video. I don't know what I was expecting for that visually because again, Brown Skin Girl, I think Keys to the Kingdom. I think those were supposed to kind of represent Nala, represent like that song. What is that song? Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was my thought. Brown Skin Girl was King for the Love Tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Like that was supposed to be that, which is good because I don't know if I would have just wanted like a romance song. That's not something I wanted. So I'm glad they kind of modernized it, made it more focused on black women. But that being like, since they reworked it, I didn't really have a visual in my brain when I played that song other than Gina Rodriguez. So when they played that, I was like, I didn't know what to expect. So when I just saw like her whole family and Kelly and Lupita, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. Another thing to point out, she had like South Asian women, Indian women in it too.
That.
That was like the first thing I noticed. I know. And I was like, because you know when Brown Skin Girl came out and, you know, everybody was singing it, people were like, well, you know, there's other brown women. It's not just black people. So I was like, there, that's for y'all that always want to say something.
Right. That's so funny.
Beyonce was like, yes, here's the other one, and here is the other one. No, but like in the moment, it actually did make me emotional because I was like, she really did not have to put them in there, but she did. Like you can tell she cares. No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Like nobody was expecting her to put them in there. At least I wasn't. So when she did, I was like, oh. And it wasn't just one girl. It was like every scene that had, you know, everybody. It had like two or three of them, and then she had a black woman with a hijab, and then she had that albino woman. That albino woman really didn't have to be there, but she was, you know. The inclusivity was just so cute. Um, as far as people coming for Blue Ivy singing, you need to sit down.
I mean, Blue Ivy is always gonna have a job. So
I just choked on my water. It's the way she will stay employed.
to know how to sing.
That's the thing. Like they're like, well, why Blue Ivy can't sing? First of all, she's 8, and like they're literally playing the song. And they're like, this is not right. Oh my God. I'm like, first of all, she's literally just talking into the mic. That's all she has to do to be on a Beyonce song. Versus everybody else has to work 10 times harder, you know?
Right.
So, and she was cute. She was kind of what she didn't do in vocals, she was serving in face and acting.
Exactly. At least she has that.
Right. And like, I think it was My Power. She also made a cameo, and I was like, yes, that is good.
She like embarrassed everybody else in a good way. They look bad. She looked good.
She was actually giving like so much fierceness, and it was like boom, and it was just for a second, and she's like the topic of the video. Ugh.
That's what she needed.
That's what she needed, exactly. So yeah, I'm trying to think of other songs. I think we hit like the ones that really like stood out. The other ones are kind of just fillers.
I think that like at first I didn't really care about Keys to the Kingdom.
Oh
but
yeah.
Then like after I watched it a few more times, I was like, this makes me so happy. Like the song and the visual.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It was just two girls dancing, but I was just like.
No, but that was so cute. I know what you're talking about. It's like all the guys with the wigs, and then the girl in like a mailman outfit, kind of. I don't know what that outfit was, but it was so adorable. I was like, I love this. This is good. That I think the actress that was Nala with the pink hair, stunning.
Yeah.
Just a face. Like that is just a face. So anytime she came on screen, I was like, this is very wonderful for me and my enjoyment. I was gonna actually mention Keys to the Kingdom because that was another song that I completely ignored, and then now I find myself playing it every day for no reason.
Right.
Because I was gonna say that she, like, her voice, like, obviously those are one of the few songs, Keys into the Kingdom, that Beyonce isn't on. So it's like, am I gonna like this? But her voice is just so beautiful that I was
And
like,
you had to get a singer.
right, she had to get a singer. But did you see, this is totally topic change. Did you see that TikTok of like one of the guys that was in the Mood Forever video? Like his family reacting to him being on it.
Wait. Well, I saw a tweet with the link, but I didn't watch the video.
It was
But yeah.
so funny. Like his part was like, I don't know if you remember the Mood Forever video.
Yeah.
It's like Beyonce's waking up and somebody claps. He's the person
Yes.
clapping and the family's like, ah!
His hands.
Literally. It's just a TikTok of them like replaying that scene like 40 times. And I'm like, that is such a joy. That's like something that I really love. Like all the artists, all the people involved, like you're in a Beyonce movie now. Like you're low key immortalized. Like that's
Right.
crazy. So that's
And
amazing.
I'm sure that, like, they're going to be employed forever.
Employed forever, like I don't care. Do you see how easy it was for people to accept Childish Gambino after Beyonce was like, "I'm your friend." I'm sorry, but that's something we need to just bring up
Honestly.
because I don't care if you want to be like, "Oh, I like Childish Gambino since this song, since that song," but you weren't loud about it. You weren't proud about
Yeah.
it. Okay? Beyonce let you be proud about it. So
I
that's
remember there were, like, Childish Gambino was solely for people who had a Tumblr and then
mhm.
there. Like, that's it.
If you had a
Everybody
Tumblr
else.
or if you were like white and a skater,
Right.
that was it. And suddenly now he's got like number one songs. I'm sorry, that's Beyonce normalizing it. That
Right.
normalization.
Normalize Childish Gambino.
Literally, Beyonce was like, I think we need to make this normal. And everybody's like, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to do
It
that.
didn't really work for me though because I was like in the Mood Forever visual. I was like, why is there a portrait of him? And then he started singing. I was like, oh, he messed up.
He was another one that like if he would have been in the movie, I would have been like mad at him for no reason. I would have just been like uncomfortable.
Right. Stay in the painting.
Stay in the painting. Okay, let's talk about that Mood Forever visual because that's another one we kind of skipped over. I mean,
Okay. So Mood Forever visual. Okay, so I feel like Black is King was literally overall just like about black people. We already established that, but I feel like she like really made that point because Mood Forever. It really made me think of Get Out.
really?
Yeah, because there's like the part where little Simba is like in the car and he's driving on the road, and then Beyonce and the blue guy show up on the side, and I was like, oh, that's scary.
Oh, you're right.
And
I didn't
then
even
the
think of
part
that.
where like she like smiles with the butler, I was like, get out. Like I'm slightly terrified.
Jordan Peele done traumatized us. I can't. No, but I kind of feel that because it was a little bit like all the other songs were very realistic, very like, you know, um, I don't know, like it didn't feel like much of a story. It felt like real. But
Yeah,
that song, I think that song and Jara, the Jara song, had like this weird, like creepy undertone to it, where it's like this is a fantasy. This is like a little bit more like, um, I guess like a dream kind of, if that
yeah.
makes sense. Like, first of all, the little kid turned into Jay Z. That was already a little bit too much, and
We
then
are.
yeah, we're already like, what? So then Jay Z comes into the house, and like the way they're showing the house is like from this weird angle, and it's a little bit creepy, like you said, Beyonce smile. So then the song is like supposed to be so happy, but it's already got like this creepy undertone. And then the Jara song is like when he's older in the city, whatever.
Yeah,
But then he sees like, I don't know if he sees Scar or he sees like somebody, and that like makes him scary. So I'm like, ugh, like how is she able to make these like happy-ish songs have like this weird
right.
undertone? She kind of
That
crazy.
that visual also reminds me of Moonlight. And it's
Yeah.
on purpose because Get Out and Moonlight are like the biggest like recent movies for just like
Black people.
directed by black directors. So I'm just like, is this on purpose?
Wait, hold on, Mo. Why you said you don't watch movies, but you're the one making the cinematic parallels here.
Well, look, hold on. The way that I was obsessed with Get Out. Okay, the only movies I watched recently are Get Out, Black Panther, and I watched Black Panther a year late. So.
No, because you know what? I was thinking about Black Panther because I was thinking about how if Disney would have made like kind of what Beyonce did, but more sophisticated, I guess, more with a script, and would have made that the remake, I feel like people would have related it too much to Black Panther, because Black
Yeah.
Panther is kind of like that too, with the dad dying and the kid having to be king and all that. So I was like, maybe they were scared of that. But why were they scared? You know why they were scared? Because they probably don't know enough black people to make it different. So that's why they're mad.
Disney is like, we only know Will Smith.
Like, Disney was like, Will Smith is busy. What do we do? What do we do? And then Beyonce's like,
They were
I
like,
mean.
Will, are you available? No, I got the red table.
Shut up. He's like, I gotta do Red Table in like 5 minutes, so you gotta find somebody else. And then Beyonce was like, hold on, let me call Childish Gambino. No, because really that is what it is. Because if you're like even that's how you know even Disney is like a little bit behind. Because if you're a big multi-millionaire conglomerate and you're scared of Black Panther, like sorry, like you couldn't make your own story, but
Right.
that's neither here or there. That's gonna take a couple years of development for them.
They need help.
They need help. Oh wait, another thing about Moon Forever I was gonna mention was that at first I was like, well, why didn't the kid turn into the adult version of Simba in the movie? Why did he have to turn into Jay-Z? But then I was like, oh, because it's like Black is King. It's not supposed to be just about the kid. It's supposed to be like about every black person. So I'm like, okay. She wanted to like push how everybody's connected. And I'm like, okay, I see it. Like begrudgingly, I accept it. But then I'm watching Moon Forever video, and it's like showing the parallels of Jay-Z's verse with the kid. Why the kid eat Jay-Z right up?
Like he was going to anyway.
The kid was like giving me hands, giving me rap hands, giving me face, and then Jay-Z's like playing chess with himself. Like,
Right.
what? Okay. So it's just really crazy how that kid is going to be booked for the rest of his life.
Yeah. I just have no positive words about Jay-Z.
Me neither. And I said I was going to say only positive things about the movie, but Beyonce just knew what was coming when she put him in there. Sorry. I think that's it for the movie.
I will say that Find Your Way Back, I feel like
I forgot about her.
people,
Yeah.
like, very much, like, I could screenshot every part of it and just make it my wall background on my phone.
Literally. Or just put it on my actual wall in my house. Like, it was so good. That's, like, one that I would play if I'm, like, feeling anxious. I play that and, like...
No, exactly that.
Literally, right? Like, it felt such, like a drink of water. Just her with some diamonds in a desert. And I'm like,
Not
ah.
to be nation, but I was like, this is Waves, but without the green screen.
Wait, yeah. This is Waves with money. This is Waves with money. No Six Flag, no moon. Exactly.
No Six Flag.
No Six Flag. No Six Flag. Also, what I was going to say, too, about Find Your Way is, like, you know, obviously she had all the diamonds and everything, but how the diamonds were shining even when it was nighttime. Like, even in the night shots.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, right? That's where the Beyonce voodoo comes in. Because you could say, like, girl, yeah, they have cameras for that. They got lamps for that. No, but diamonds don't dance like that. Not in the night. So, I just feel like that was just her radiance and her richness.
That was just her skin.
That was literally just her skin. Oh my god, talking about her skin, random part of the movie that I really enjoyed was like her on a tree. This is when I realized she was Rafiki. Because she was on the same tree that Rafiki was on. But anyway, her on that...
She was blue.
Yeah! Her on that tree painted blue. Why that 8?
Right, this is so eye-opening for me.
No.
Why did I watch this movie like 4 times? Each time I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
No,
I really didn't
because
know.
no, because me too. Because when you're watching it, it's like you're in a trance, and you really have to like put your school brain on when you're done and be like, okay, now I'm gonna analyze the movie, which is what I did because I'm crazy. So
She said, these schools not open. Let me put these movies
she's like, y'all gonna be on your computer anyway. Let me give you something to look up, and that's exactly what she did. Overall, though, oh, another thing I was gonna say. Well, this kind of goes with it. Overall, I think it flowed really nicely, and if like Beyonce was the head of Disney and she made the remake, it would have actually gotten some views. Because let me tell you, we are not the only two people in the world that didn't like the remake. Tell me why the remake got like a 55 score from like critics. Yeah, exactly.
and
Um,
Black is King got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Hello, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna
Beat
list.
them up. I know Disney is
I
embarrassed.
know Disney is so embarrassed because that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna list all the movies that Beyonce has a higher rating. So let me do that. Okay. So let's start with. So let's start with the actual remake. It has more than that. It has a better score than Django Unchained, the Steve Jobs movie, Silver Linings Playbook. It has
Never heard of it.
never heard of it. These are like movies that like movie people watch, you know. And then it has more on Rotten Tomatoes than literal Parasite. So what are we gonna
Oh,
do now?
wow.
So what are the girls gonna do now? What are the girls gonna do now? Because she just ate Parasite right up. I mean, to be fair, Parasite has 99%, but Beyonce got
It's
100.
missing one.
It's missing that one, that Giselle's Carter 1%. So, and it has more than Knives Out, but that's just another movie. The Parasite really got me. So, if y'all are like, oh, why the movie theater's not opening up? Wah. Girl, watch this. It's free and it's on Disney Plus. Well, it's not free,
Right.
but yeah,
Directors need to go back to the drawing board.
they really do. And like how every year we're like, every year, no, but like anytime that Beyonce does something, we're like, oh, this needs to win an Oscar. But I actually think it has potential to win this year because like since no movies are coming out and all that, wow, we might win.
Yeah. Not to be hive, but I may have to riot.
Like why we actually might win because I mean Parasite winning shows last year shows that they do be watching the movies in other languages, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And so this year you're kind of forced to watch any movie that comes out because we're just in our house. So it's like Netflix movie or Beyonce critically acclaimed movie. And I feel like they're just going to give it to Beyonce.
The obvious answer.
Exactly. I think we have at least one nomination in the bag. Ah! But yeah, I just want everybody to remember that it has more than Parasite. Hello? Okay. But yeah, overall, my rating is the same as Rotten Tomatoes, 100%.
Right. This is the. I don't care about critics like when it comes to movies and music, but
Me neither.
I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna be like, well, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I know. Me not like even fully understanding what that means. I'm like, but it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so goodbye. Like, no, yeah. And like, if I really wanted to get like nitpicky with the movie, I will say like there were some parts that were like a little bit slow, I guess. But that was more so because I'm stupid and I just didn't really know what like how to interpret her like poems between the songs. But I'm sure y'all are smarter than me, so
Right. It's like that's my fault.
that's not me exactly. That's not even on anybody else. But yeah, anything else you want to add, Miss Queen?
I feel like it was just showing that Beyonce is gonna be here for a while.
Right. Right.
Like there were some parts where I feel like in the first half of the movie, that's when the slower parts were. But after that, it was just like visual after visual, and like the styling, and then of course just like her period, like
Right.
it's just Beyonce. So
No, I definitely feel that too because I feel like the first part was the more obvious part where it's like obviously Lion King, and then the second part was more her interpretation, which is when it started to pick up.
yeah,
So if that's Beyonce just doing this with a movie herself, notice also how she's like slowly leveling up because Formation, full film on her life, right? But not like full film with acting in it. Okay, Black is King is like a rework of a classic movie, both visually and with its own soundtrack. None of the girls are doing this, by the way, but she's leveling up her own like filmography. Next
right.
time, girl, we might just have a full script. What?
And like, I think it's just really exciting to see because even like B Day was sort of a visual album, but just a way that could only be done in the 2000s.
Right, right,
So just like the progress, dot dot dot.
right. Cause it went from
I
B
just
Day.
cannot believe.
No, I really like. I could discuss her leveling herself up forever, and I think anyone in Hive can. But even if you want to talk about self-titled being fully visual, and that was just like separate videos, like what can be done in 2013. I think she's really using like her resources to the max.
Right.
So what happens when she gets in contact with the guy who made Parasite and they compare Rotten Tomatoes ratings and then they're like, okay, girl, well, let's just collab. And then what?
Right.
And then
And it's
what?
just like from scratch, not about her life, not about the Lion King.
Right. Ooh.
Beyonce will become an author,
No, that's the thing
a
because
playwright.
she got like a whole Broadway thing lined up too. Like, that's the thing. Because if you want to be like, well, of course she's going to make good music about her own life because she lived through it. Well, what now? Because Lion King is a fictional story that she made
Right.
possible. So, yeah, it's just getting better. It's really getting amazing. And how she quickly. Do you think this movie would have came out in theaters if it wasn't, Rona time?
Honestly,
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
I really don't know because I feel like wasn't there a thing where it was like okay after Homecoming she's supposed to have two more things with Netflix and this
Mm-hmm.
was not Netflix at all. It was Disney, so maybe
Girl, now I'm getting
the
excited.
reason that Disney Plus exists at all.
Disney Plus was like, well, girl, we need to come up with something quick. Because where are we going to put this Beyonce movie? No, because when you think about it, I don't think it would have. I mean, I would have gone and seen it in theaters if it came in theaters. But I think Disney's also doing like Mulan and stuff, so they probably wouldn't have wanted to put it in theaters. Even though they play themselves and now Mulan's on Disney Plus too.
Yeah, and you gotta pay like $20 including the subscription fee, so they're about to have 3 views.
Oh my god, I saw that. And what's her name quoted it and was like, "They're crazy. A movie ticket is $10. Why are they charging $30? Like, are you crazy?
I don't know.
Like, I don't even remember the last time I paid $30 for something."
And I've never seen Mulan before, so I'm definitely not gonna watch the live action one.
Girl, I've never seen Mulan either. Why? Wait. Why? I've never seen any Disney movie. Even Little Mermaid, I didn't see the first one. I only saw the second one. So,
And the second one?
yeah.
What?
You know what it is? Like that era was still like cassette time. Wow, I'm putting myself in like a position where everybody knows how old I am. But that came out in like cassette turning into DVD time,
Yeah.
and we didn't have a DVD player yet. So yeah, so like they were only selling at Blockbuster, they were only selling they were only selling Little Mermaid in DVD, but Little Mermaid 2 was in cassette. So I'm like, "Well, girl, you just got to watch what you can." So I had to just go ahead and watch the second one. I still don't really know what happened in the first one. But that's why Hallie's there. So we're going to figure that out.
Right.
You
I mean,
know?
I will watch that one if they don't like charge me an arm and a leg.
Right. If it's not $30, I'll watch Little Mermaid.
Right. They got me with Hallie.
They got me, yeah. Even Mulan, it looks interesting, but like not $30 interesting, you know? So
Right.
we'll see about that. Oh my god, the next episode, I mean, hopefully it doesn't take that long and hopefully I can have you on before then. But When Little Mermaid comes out, we can recreate this.
Wait, yeah. Okay, did you see that tweet where the person was like, "Why is this Hallie every time Chloe mentions the Little Mermaid?" So I'm just like, it was just like her looking annoyed. So I'm just like, this needs to hurry up and come out so people can stop asking her about this. She can do her promo and she can go home.
Wait, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. She looks like so done. Like if you just brought up her ex. It's like a full movie she's involved in, and every time they bring up Little Mermaid, she's
Girl,
like,
why you ask me about that?
they're like, because it's a movie that you're in. She's like, not too much, not too much. I can't. No, I really hope it's good, but if it's not good, going back to that video is gonna be so funny.
Wait. She's like, y'all don't see what they're doing on set.
Right? Like y'all don't know what they're doing to me, y'all. Come on. Oh
She
my
was
god.
so happy when she had to go home.
I know. No, because I was watching a tea time of them, and it was like they were asking if she had to dye her dreads or something. Or no, they were asking her if they had to pause filming Little Mermaid because of quarantine. And the smile that came on her face, she was like, "Yeah, we had to pause it. We had to pause filming." And I was like, "Oh, oh my
She
god."
can't hide it.
She, she can't. She can't. Oh my god, that's gonna be funny. But yeah, we'll bring you back on for that. Thank you so much, Mel, for doing this.
Yay!
I loved it. Is there anything you want to plug here? The moment is
Um,
yours.
I will say that, I mean, I don't really post on Instagram, so. But ILYSMO. I will, repost pretty pictures like it's Tumblr on my story.
Yup, yup. Because that's how we adapt. That's how we adapt.
Right.
Okay, for me, y'all know that track 2 is on Instagram at the track 2 with 2 spelled out. And that is all for today, y'all. Peace out.